Portland, being a small country town, has a few surprises up its sleeve for those who dare to make the journey to the edge of Victoria. Hi, we're Matt and Liz, a travelling couple from Perth. If you're new here, we've been travelling the Great Ocean Road, finding new things along the way. Today we're exploring my home country town, Portland.
We're in Portland today and we're going to ride a cable tram.
What you're seeing around me right now is the inside of a cable car tram here in Portland. These have been replicated to be exactly like the original tram cars from Melbourne in the 1800s. The only thing that they've changed is they've modernised the engine that runs them.
Just finished up at the tram and the guides were really informative, the volunteer guides actually, yeah.
Really good. It went for about an hour and you get to see a lot, like it circuits all around sort of the main area of the city centre, the port, Botanic Gardens, and yeah, it was really good value. And then they've got a little museum afterwards.
Yeah, which there was actually quite a lot in there.
We've now come down to the Botanic Gardens here in Portland, and this tree behind me, hope that you can see that okay there. They actually told us while we were on the tram that this tree is at least 175 years old, so that's pretty special. And a lot of this town has been built around, they've tried to keep a lot of the nature here, and there's some really big trees and things like that in this area, which is really beautiful. So let's go check out these gardens.
Yeah, can't wait to show it. Okay, so along that tram ride, we actually saw quite a few koalas, and probably actually seen more koalas on that tram ride than we did at Kennet River, which is dedicated to actually seeing koalas, so definitely might see more koalas than what you'd expect.
So Portland is actually known as the birthplace of Victoria, and the reason for that is because in 1834 it was the first proper established permanent European settlement in Victoria. Now behind us here is the courthouse building. This was actually built shortly after in 1845, and it's still the functioning courthouse today as well.
So just behind me is History House, formerly known as the Town Hall. It was built in 1863 and houses most of the town's knowledge. So we're just up at Cape Bridgewater, just about to do the Blowholes, and just surrounding me is also the Cape Bridgewater wind farm. Alright, just finished up with the Blowholes and we're just walking down to the Petrified Forest. Now, the Petrified Forest is believed to be a forest that had the dunes collapse on it, and with the water erosion creating these structures. Now, if you're in Portland, there is one thing I do need you to try, which is Canadian Rooster. Their chips and gravy, probably the best I've ever had.
Alrighty, so Canadian Rooster.
very first time I tried this was on one of my trips back here to Portland with Matt, and he said to me, you have to try Canadian Rooster because they have the best chips and gravy in town. Now, I don't like gravy at the best of times usually, so I was skeptical. Anyhow, we tried it, and yes, it was indeed the best chips and gravy I liked, so much so that I remember going back asking for an extra cup of gravy for more gravy to dip the chips in. Anyhow.
Yeah, and we went back a few times.
We wanted to get it in as much as we could before leaving, and it's been a thing we do every time we come here. I've now not been back to Portland for a couple of years. Matt has, but we're going to give this a go and see if these chips and gravy are how we remembered them.
Yep. All right, well, I might let you go first,
okay.
You've probably got the best idea how
Let's
you remember them.
Let's find a nice crispy one. Nice crispy chip here with gravy. Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah,
it's still really good. Still really good.
All right.
And we're eating in the car because it's raining outside at the moment, so...
Very typical Portland weather.
Fun fact about this town, behind me here is the Gordon, which is the pub with the longest continuous license in all of Victoria.
So just behind me is the Portland Customs Office, which was erected in 1849. So it is the oldest one in Victoria, and it is still functioning now.
As for how long you should spend in this area, you could probably see the town within a day. However, if you want to factor in nature walks and whale watching and things like that, definitely allow longer. However, we actually think it's a really good hub to base yourself at if you want to see other areas in southwest Victoria for a few days. Accommodation in this area is actually quite affordable, and there are so many towns that you can access within a short 2-hour drive. So we've been doing that and basically day tripping out to different areas.
Thank you for watching. We're now heading back to Melbourne and seeing more places along the way, so be sure to check that out in our next video.